Am I live here?
You're live, buddy.
Live, and I'm live?
Yes.
So we're dual streaming, folks. So whatever platform you want to be on, you can watch us. So earlier I shown you a little bit about getting charcoal started. Keep in mind, guys, get rid of the charcoal fluid starter. You don't want to be Chevy Chase and European Vacation. You've seen that, right? Anyway, use a chimney. Use some newspaper or some paper that you have laying around. They even make little cubes that are specifically made, or you can make your own to start your charcoal. This took about 10-15 minutes, and as you can see on the top here, they're white, hot red, right? So they're ready. These are briquettes, and the reason why we use briquettes, well, at least why I use briquettes, you can use coals or hot coals that you would have from a campfire. The problem with that is that it's sometimes hard to judge the temperature. There are some methods you can use, but with this, you can actually count your charcoal out and get a precise temperature. And we're gonna go over that as we go along further in this recipe. So we've got our charcoal ready. Got my chimney fire starter. Notice I've got a couple of pans so I can leave no trace and not cause a problem here. It would work on this this porch here if I wanted to, but having a self-contained little fire ring makes it even safer. I have some tongs that we can use to grab our briquettes with, but then we come over here, we're going to talk about our recipe. But before we do that, we also want to have a Dutch oven. Some people call these camp ovens, and the features you want to look for if you buy your own Dutch oven is this little ring right here. Some will have some extra things like a trivet here. This allows me to use this lid as actual, like a skillet. I can cook stuff on this lid. Of course, you want to have a bail. If I can get this on, huh? You want a bail so I can lift my Dutch oven on with. And then on the bottom, I've got trivets as well. This allows me to put my coals around and not have it fall off. You can buy Dutch ovens that are smooth and round like this. The problem with those is your coals are gonna fall off. Okay. I also have a lid lifter. You can buy these at a lot of your sporting goods stores, but this allows me to pick up not only my lid here, just like so, but it allows me to pick up by the bail the Dutch oven as well. I have a hot oven mitt, and that'll get me going as well. So the reason why we're even doing this is that a coworker of mine brought in some fresh peaches from Colorado, and they're kind of giving them away. And so I said, hey, let's do a Dutch oven cobbler. And this is an old scout trick that a lot of people go camping, and they might go camping with scouts, and they make this cobbler and they think that they've died and gone to heaven because it's just delicious and it's super easy to make. So the way we make this is really 3 ingredients. You want your peaches, you want some butter, and then you just want a simple old yellow cake mix. And it doesn't matter what kind you get. Usually they're only $1. And then to top it off, some cinnamon. So I've already cut up, or actually my coworker cut up the fresh peaches and put them in the bottom, so this should be a delight. And then I took a can, I'm gonna take this can of peaches with the delicious peach juice in there. We want that in there too, because it's going to make it even taste better. So what we do is we start off by just dumping this in here. This is all we need to do. Of course, I've got these canned peaches and fresh peaches, so this should be a delight once it's done. And then I take the cake mix and just dump it in. Now some of you guys may be mad because I'm ruining your secret, because you may make this at home and people just think you're an amazing cook. Come to find out you're just doing 3 ingredients. So we spread that out. I'm just using my trusty scout knife here. And then once that's done, I take this butter and just spread it around evenly. I've already sliced it up. Of course, if it's been sitting in your ice cooler, it may not melt as quick. This has been out here, it's already hot, and it's what, 10 o'clock, so welcome to fall, folks, here in Oklahoma. And we're going to spread that out. Pretty much done at this point. Then I'm gonna take, of course this isn't hot yet, so I can just grab it like so, and put that on there. Okay, now this is where it gets to be the part where some people find this a little confusing, but it's easy if you can do some simple elementary math. Some of us can't, it's hard. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this off to the side because we're gonna cook on this. So I'm gonna take this, if it's hot, you may wanna use your glove, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna dump these coals right out here. I could dip them out one by one, but I think it gets a little hot if I do that. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the math. And most people are gonna cook everything at 350. Open a recipe just about anywhere, you're gonna find that it says 350. Some will be 400, some may be a little cooler, but 350 is a good rule of thumb. And so in order to get 350 on a Dutch oven, what you do is, we know that this is a 10-inch Dutch oven. If you don't know, you should see a little number on here. If you don't, look. Some of them will have a number on the very bottom. It may say the number. Otherwise, you can just guess or take a tape measure and know that this is your 10-inch Dutch oven. With a 10-inch Dutch oven, we want to use 20 briquettes. But we know heat rises, okay? So we want to put less briquettes on the very bottom than we put on top. So we're going to take 20, and what we're going to do is subtract 3 from the bottom and put 7. So we're going to start off with 7 evenly placed briquettes. And a little goes a long way here, folks, because if you end up using, you don't want to just, a lot of people, what they'll do, I'll see the mistake, they'll just put a whole bunch of briquettes there thinking, more is better, which here's 7. It's pretty good. And some of these are a little small. Notice those have already been on the bottom, so I'm going to just split the difference here and count that as one full one. So I've got 7. I'm doing the math right? And add that here. So now I've got the bottom part. Now, if I need to add any more, I'm going to add more to the top than the bottom as I go on here. But now I'm going to take those 3 that I subtracted from the bottom and add to the top, so that'd make it 13, right? So usually if you do it right, you'll notice that 13 is almost exactly what you need to just fill the top of your lid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I can feel the heat coming off this. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, you don't want to do more, but if you wanted to have a nice top crust on this, as we get along here, I'm gonna see it's about 9:50 right now, guys. So about 15, 20 minutes, I'm gonna check this, maybe a little less. But I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna maybe add 1 to the top just to keep that heat going. I don't want to add too much to the bottom because that's where you can actually get that scorching, or you can have something burn. In about, let's say, 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to open it up. I might stir it up a little bit, but it's not even necessary to do that. It's just set it and leave it. And then here in a little bit, we're going to have a delicious peach cobbler. So I might get the question, hey, what does this have to do with hunting and fishing? But it has a lot to do with hunting and fishing, because we go out into the woods, whether we're dove hunting, maybe we're going to fish camp or deer camp, you can win somebody over to your favorite activity by just making something like this. So whenever you come back to the camp, maybe you didn't see a deer, maybe you saw a deer and didn't have the opportunity to shoot one, or maybe you emptied a whole box of dove shot and didn't get one dove. You can come back and actually have a delicious peach cobbler and not have to worry about what you lost there, or what you were a bad shot. So I think it adds everything to being outdoors. Is one way to win somebody over is through their stomach, right? And this is how you can do that. See you guys. Thank you, and I'll be back in a little bit and have a clip so you can actually see what this looks like.